From the WDWL TV multiplex, live from Studio 5A, the pride of the station, the Two Grumpies, starring the grumpy old man. Oh, that would be me. And the grumpy vulture. Take your bow. Oh, very nice, very nice. What did you shampoo yourself with today? Oh, geez, what? Smells like apricot and banana strawberry. Oh, man, can't you? Oh, go back in your corner. Oh, God. Oh, there you can see the camera. Oh, I think that damn bird got some deal at Big Lots. He must have bought like the whole shelf of fucking shampoo. Every day smells like something different. Jesus. The coconut something. Oh, man. I hope it ain't going to be like this, like every day for the next, 365 days, a new flavor, scent, smell. Yeah. Back when I was growing up, you had like two shampoos. You had shampoo and you had dandruff shampoo. That was it. Today, a 40-foot aisle of shampoo with every fucking flavor on earth. And first, you have like coconut, you have banana, you have strawberry, apricot. Then the next shelf is the mix, coconut, banana, strawberry, orchid. Then the third shelf is all flowers, rose, gardenia, and you got like 700 different varieties of fucking shampoo. Almost as bad as when you go grocery shopping. Cereal. A whole 40-foot aisle of cereal. Back when I was growing up, you go in the grocery store and your breakfast items consisted of oatmeal, cornflakes. That was it. And then Kellogg's came out with, sugar pops. No, they didn't have all that sugary shit. Yeah, Kicks, I think. Yeah. Then you had oatmeal, cornflakes, Kicks. And then it slowly ended up 40 feet of cereal. Every kind of cereal under the sun. Every flavor. You got strawberry banana and then artichoke guava. And I'm like, I only like 3 different cereals. I like cornflakes. I like Rice Chex. And I like, which everybody's like, oh, grumpy, Post grape nuts. Yeah, Post grape nuts. People say, oh, how can you eat that? They're so fucking crunchy. Well, yeah. The object is you let them soak up the milk and then they become, soft and edible. It's not like, you pour a bowl of cornflakes, you pour in the milk, take a spoon, start to eat them. If you do that with grape nuts, you'll break all your teeth. And I I like all the checks, rice checks, wheat checks, corn checks. But now you go in and you got every flavor and type of cereal, and then you get, Lucky Charms, regular, Lucky Charms with extra sugar, Lucky Charms with bigger marshmallows. It's just, it's unbelievable. And then, I mean, every item has a huge section, like cooking oil. You go in, you got olive oil, you got canola oil, vegetable oil. Then you got olive oil with canola oil. And then you got canola oil with, motor oil. It just, I was talking to another senior the other day in the store. I can't remember, he was looking for a certain kind of cereal. And of course, you got to start at one end of the aisle, and you got to look all four shelves. What the hell was he looking? Mueslicks, oil slick, something. I was like, they still make that? He was like, yeah, I buy it all the time. I said, well, what is it? Because I've never eaten that cereal. And then he started to explain to me. I was like, that ain't even cereal. It's like a mixture of bolts and nuts and screws and washer. It's too goddamn confusing to go shopping anymore, because you just can't go in and buy like a box of cornflakes and know where it's at on the shelf. You got to look through 5,000 boxes of cereal. And then, they quit making. It's very hard to find what I call the single person box, the little. I don't want a box that's as big as a steamer trunk. I know they make them for people with families, but trying to find a small box of cereal nowadays is next to impossible. They've even done away with the small box of grape nuts. They used to have a real small one. Not anymore. Today's small is like yesterday's family size. And I don't eat it all the time. I get a taste for it. Maybe I'll eat it for a month. And then I've had my taste for the next 6-7 months. Not everybody wants that box of cereal that looks like a carry-on bag for an airline. And same thing. Like I say, every product. I remember back in the day, rice. You had regular rice and minute rice. That was it. Now, you have 500 different jasmine rice and this kind of rice and that kind of rice. I'm like, It makes it impossible to shop nowadays. You spend more time looking for what you want. And then when you find it, holy shit. I remember, small box of grape nuts was like $1.29. Now it's like $5.60. I don't know how people with families can afford to feed them. The prices of the basics. I mean, even a family size, I'm not going to say family, a regular size box of cornflakes, $4.95. Cornflakes used to be the cheapest goddamn cereal on the shelf. It just, and then, back in the day, of course, things were different. In home ec, they taught girls how to sew. And girls would make their own clothing. There used to be fabric shops everywhere. I need a piece of stiff foam rubber, not the flimsy. I need it stiff so I can cut it, because I have not a suitcase, but I have a case that I want to put my tough book in. And I want it to insert it into a hard foam so that it don't go anywhere. Basically put the tough book in there, cut around it, and sink it into the foam about like that. And that way, in the carry case, it's protected. I look for a fabric shop. Can't find one. There aren't any. Reupholster. I figured, okay, I know where there were some upholstery shops back in the day. Back in the day. Gone. Because people throw their fucking furniture away. Because they buy cheap shit so that when it wears out, they'll buy more cheap shit. Back when I was growing up, you had, the furniture back in the day, all handmade, hand upholstered. It was worth saving. So if say a chair wore out, you took it to a shop and you were like, well, gee, I can make this look like a new chair. I'll go with that kind of fabric instead. And then you had it reupholstered and you brought it home. And, when your friends came over, they're like, oh, Millie, where did you buy that beautiful chair? Well, if you wanted to be sneaky, I ordered it out of, Chicago or New York. You didn't tell your friends, hey, I took it down the corner and had it recovered. It's the same old chair I've had for 30 years. But furniture was worth saving. Yeah, it pains me to no end to see furniture thrown out that was from, the 30s or 40s, 50s, when it was all handmade, dovetail joints were cut by hand. There was a dresser a couple weeks ago. Oh, God, it broke my heart to see it sitting on a tree lawn for the garbage. It was a maple dresser with walnut inlay. Beautiful, around the edges of the drawers. And just, if it wasn't that it weighed like 700 pounds, I'd have probably snatched it. But to see good, heavy-duty, what was expensive furniture back in the day, just tossed out because the younger generation, they're like, I don't want that shit. They don't stop and realize that furniture was made with pride. everything was cut by hand. They didn't have power saws. You know, you get a dovetail joint or a rabbit joint. It was all done with a hammer and a chisel and glued and fit by hand. If that dresser wouldn't have weighed what it did, because it was made out of solid wood, not this pressed fiber fucking laminate crap you buy today. I mean, it was made out of expensive wood. And you could tell because it weighed about as much as my shitbox truck. I stopped. I was actually gonna snatch it. I was like, oh God, I can't. I went to pick it up. I almost popped both of my old hernias. I was like, whoa! It was fucking heavy. But it was built to last. This dresser had to be made back in the 30s, easy. And you could tell because back then they made shit to last. But I'm trying to find foam lining for this storage case. I can't find it. I can't find anywhere I can buy what they refer to. They call it rigid foam, not the soft stuff like you'd have for a pillow. It's rigid where you could cut it. None around. And I don't want to take the chance of ordering because a lot of times you got to order like, you know, a 30-foot by 60-foot piece. I couldn't believe no fabric shops anywhere. East side, west side, north side, south side, gone. The big one used to be Joann Fabric. They were all over the place. Of course, they don't teach that shit in school anymore. So the younger generation, they don't want to sew. Sew? Same thing. Although there is one sewing machine shop in Lakewood. Talk about, I remember my mother bought a Singer portable sewing machine. You could set it on the kitchen table. You took the lid off and had a foot pedal. You sit on the floor. I think it was like $50. But that was big money back in the day. Some of these sewing machines, I stopped and looked through the window, you know. $1,400, $1,800, $2,700, $3,800. Of course, a lot of them are computerized. You know, they're for somebody that does professional sewing, not, oh, I got a tear in my shirt, you know. But nobody sews anymore. I tore a goddamn brand new pair of jeans. Here, stupid grumpy. I had a screwdriver. I stuck it in my back pocket. Okay? Now I meant to put the screwdriver back in the toolbox. I forgot it was in my pocket. And it was turned blade side down. I get in the truck and I put my ass into the seat And I'm like, what the hell am I caught on, you know? And I forced myself in. When I got out of the truck, the screwdriver fell out of the hole in the pocket of my brand new blue jeans. I was like, oh, for Christ's sake. I went to 4 different neighbors. I said, hey, I need a needle and thread. They looked at me like I was speaking Bulgarian. They were like, needle and thread? Nobody sews anymore. I said, well, I got to fix a pocket in my... I had to go to the store and buy needles, thread, and it was hard as hell to find goddamn needles and thread because they're only at craft stores. You know, back in the day, you could go to the drugstore, get a pack of needles, get some thread. No. All the shit that I'm used to having from back in my day, you can't fucking find it anymore. Same thing. I need a pair of shoelaces. Used to be able to get them at the drugstore. Nope. I went to 3 different drugstores. I was like, I'm looking for shoelaces. And the kid that was stocking the aisle said, why? Well, because I broke one. Well, can't you use rope? Oh, well, yeah, I probably could, you know, go to the homeless depot and get some twine that you would use to tie up your garden plants and use that for a shoelace. Yeah. I don't know. Well, I do know. We're a throwaway society. We don't keep, you know, we don't repair anything. You break a shoelace, you throw the pair of shoes away. Because 9 times out of 10, you didn't pay that much for them. Needle and thread. You throw the shirt away. You throw the jeans away. What the hell? Or, like, it drives me crazy seeing these women wear these goddamn jeans that look like they went through a farm combine or through somebody's lawnmower. There was a woman a couple weeks ago at the store. There was hardly any material. Big holes, you know. And they call that fashion. Back when I was growing up, it was called poor. Yeah. You wore torn clothes because your parents were poor. Couldn't afford to buy you something. Sometimes it makes me laugh. It really does. I'm like, you're wearing that shit? And from what I've found out, those torn clothes, mainly the torn slacks, blue jeans, shit like that, is bigger in Japan than it is here. Now, you see people wearing this shit all day long. You know, I've seen pictures of movie starlets, you know, with their brand new torn Versace jeans, you know. There are actually agencies in the United States that collect old clothes and they go through them. And if they find ripped and torn jeans, they launder them, then they inspect them, and if they pass inspection after they're laundered, they are packed and shipped to Japan because there are stores over there that can't keep that shit on the shelves. Yeah. I can't imagine going into a clothing store and buying jeans that look like they went through a goddamn lawnmower. I laugh at it. I'm like, back in my day, you'd be embarrassed to wear that because that was a sign of your family didn't have fucking money. And your parents didn't have a sewing machine. Now, today, oh, the more holes, the better. I don't understand today's society. I really don't. I guess it's because I'm too fucking old. You know, back in high school, they taught home ec. And they taught, the basics of being a homemaker. Girls learned how to sew. They learned how to cook. They learned the basics for doing laundry. They don't teach that shit today. No wonder these kids come out of school, they don't know what the fuck they're doing. I saw some videos recently, and they were all millennials and younger, like 18, 20-year-olds that got their first apartments. And to walk in and look in a bedroom and see a pile of clothing that's, 4 foot tall in a corner. They don't wash shit. They wear it until it basically probably stinks, throw it in the corner, and go buy new. And I've seen multiple videos across the United States. A lot of them like arrests. And the police go in the house with their body cam. And you just see piles of clothes everywhere. Yeah. They don't launder them. They'll launder their underwear. That's about it. Clothing, it's like, I wore this shirt 8 times. Let me smell the armpit. Whoa, okay, we'll just throw that in the corner, go buy a new one. And these kids come out, they don't know how to cook. If their parents didn't teach them, if their mothers didn't sit down and teach them how to cook, they don't know how to cook. That's why fast food is basically taken over. And there's delivery service, just DoorDash. Call DoorDash. You want a meal? Call DoorDash. What's the stove used for? We keep pans on it. Don't you use stove? Well, yeah, I've boiled water a couple of times. That's about it. You mean you can do more things than boil water? Bake a cake? Oh, well, yeah, how the hell do you do that? Well, you read the back of the box, and it tells you how to make the cake. Well, what do I put it in? Well, a cake pan. What's a cake pan? Go Google it. cake pan. Then when you get a picture, order it from eBay, and your postal carrier will deliver it to your door. In the meantime, don't do anything with the cake mix. I mean, that's what it's coming to. I think this younger generation owns like maybe 4 pans. You know, a skillet, a saucepan, a larger pan, maybe a soup pan, maybe. That might be too big. God, I used to have, I got this thing for Revereware. The old Revereware. The copper bottom. Believe me, you can tell the difference between old Revereware and new. Because the old Revereware is heavy shit. The new Revereware is like aluminum foil. I have some of my grandmother's Revereware pans. Anytime I see one, I grab it. When we had the Goodwill up the street, there was this little, it's like for cooking one egg. I've never saw one that small, little skillet. And I spotted it and I was like, whoa, how much is this pan? And the girl was like, I don't know, is $1 too much? I didn't want to show my excitement. I was like, oh, okay, I'll take it for $1. On the way home, I stopped and I got copper cleaner. Oh my God. I mean, it was the old style Revereware. That copper was like a brand new penny. Almost broke my heart to use it. They don't buy this stuff today. The younger generation, they look at that like, oh God, I ain't. I'll go to Walmart and, you know, buy a 47-piece set of pans for $15. You know what kind of quality those will be. It really. Come on. It makes me laugh when I see these chef-endorsed pans. Like Gordon Ramsay cookware. First of all, 90% of the millennials don't know who the fuck Gordon Ramsay is. And second of all, they're not going to invest in that expensive shit because they don't know how to use it. And every chef has cookware. You got Gordon Ramsay cookware and Rachel Ray cookware. And then when a chef becomes a big name, like Rachel Ray. Now, I love Rachel Ray, but you got Rachel Ray cookware. You got Rachel Ray glassware. You got Rachel Ray silverware. You got Rachel Ray hot sauce. You got Rachel Ray animal food. They got their name on everything. And it ain't cheap. Of course, for what they're shelling out for that endorsement, they got to get their money back. But, yeah, they overdo it. And I was in a store one day, and there were 2 or 3 young girls, and there was a whole set of this Rachel Ray cookware on display. I was at that Bullseye store. And I heard one asked the other one, "Who is Rachel Ray?" And the third girl went, "I think she's a sports figure." Oh my God. I had to run to the end of the aisle to break out laughing. Yeah, I think she's a sports figure. Do you know many sports figures endorsing cookware? That would be like a Rachel Ray basketball. Yeah, I couldn't believe it. Who's Rachel Ray? I think she's a sports star. No, but that's the way it is today. You can go into, in the cookware aisle at the Bullseye store, and you see, Rachel Ray cookware, and you see Gordon Ramsay cookware. They have no idea who these people are. All they know is they got their name on cookware. Of course, back growing up, good old Betty Crocker. Oh, she made a killing. Everything was Betty Crocker. Yeah. Betty Crocker recipes, Betty Crocker cereal, Betty Crocker this, yeah. But you knew who she was. But today, these millennials have no idea who these people are. Like good old Emerald. Emerald was like the king of the Food Network for years. And then, as soon as the ratings drop, they do away with him. Oh, let's bring in somebody else, like another big name, Paula Deen. And then she got disgraced and lost everything. Her restaurants, her endorsements, her program on TV. But Emerald, he was off the air for several years. And I missed him. I really liked Emerald Lagasse. Because he was not only a hell of a chef, he was a hell of a showman. Then one day, I see a commercial for an air fryer. The Emerald Lagasse air fryer. Now, you don't see him on local TV, cable, streaming. But the younger generation, they're like, who the hell is he? Did he invent that air fryer or what? They're aiming a product at generations that have no idea who the fuck he is. Our generation, the boomers, know, because if we watched Food Network, we watched his show all the time. We knew who he is. But all of a sudden, for him to make a semi-comeback and do commercials for an air fryer, and then they not only have a regular commercial, they have an infomercial. Now, a regular commercial runs 60 seconds, maybe 90 seconds. An infomercial runs like an hour. because he cooks in it. And he shows you how to make something. And then, of course, everybody, in the audience gets a plate. But if you look in the audience, it's all people from my generation who know who he is. Now, I'm sure they're out on the street going, hey, you millennials, come here. We'll put you on TV in an infomercial. We need some younger generation people in the audience. And the youngsters have no idea who the hell this guy is. All they know is they're going to be on TV, they're going to get free food, and maybe a discount coupon to buy an air fryer. Otherwise, they have no idea who he is. It amazes me. But, something that really makes me sad. And I know people don't buy stuff for longevity like my generation and the generation before me and my parents and grandparents. How they have cheapened Revereware. It is nothing like it was back when my grandmother was buying the stuff. It used to be made in America, made by proud Americans. Now, it's cheap as crap, made in India. Now, I'm not saying the Indian people don't need jobs, but how the manufacturers have turned a product that would last 50, 60, 70 years if it was taken care of into cheap crap. Because I was looking for a certain size pan at the Bullseye store. And I picked that pan up and I was like, what a piece of shit this is. Revereware. A name that was quality. All of our stuff is like this. Same thing. And I've told this story before about my rival popcorn maker. My popcorn maker was like 40 fucking years old. And it finally quit. So I'm thinking to myself, well, I'll buy another rival because if you got something that lasted and was quality, you bought it again. So I went on my favorite eBay and I ordered another one. And it arrived. And I was like, what the fuck did I buy here? First of all, it's made in China. Second of all, it's about a third of the weight and quality of what my original was. I needed two hands to carry that popcorn maker around. This one I can pick up in my thumb and finger. But the cardboard box that it was shipped in was made in the USA. It's a sturdy, good quality box. But the popcorn maker that's inside the box is a cheap piece of crap with the rival name on it, made in China. Do you think I'm going to get 30, 40 years of use out of this one? I'll be lucky to get 30 months. And all of our appliances are like this. It is so sad. I go back to my goddamn RCA TV. You know the story on that one. RCA was the world leader at one time in radios and television. That big monster radio my grandmother had was an RCA. When I needed a television, I went through all the TVs on Walmart looking for a name I recognized. Now, there was a Philco, which was another big name back in the day. It was out of stock. And then I spotted RCA. I was like, whoa, I'm going to buy it. So I bought big flat screen. It lasted 2.5 years. 2.5 years. Dead. So, I needed a replacement. Now, I'm not going to go through that extended warranty shit, but they shipped me another TV made in China, which I would say probably 80% of the TVs today, all right, I'm showing my age, TVs, flat screens, are made in China. I didn't want another Chinese-made TV. So I researched, and I spotted this Samsung 50-inch. Now, I had the ultra high def 4K RCA. This Samsung is a step above with the crystal display. I was like, that interests me. So I looked into it. And then, since I got burned on the other one, I called the U.S. number for Samsung, because Samsung has offices here in the U.S. And I said, hey, I'm interested in this crystal display TV. Where's it made? And the guy said, Mexico. Okay. Go ahead and explain. What kind of quality control do you have? Well, he commenced to explain. We run the plant in Mexico. It's all Americans. As the TVs progress down the assembly line, we blindly pull and test. And if it meets the quality standards, then, now, they pull them in certain production areas. You know, it starts down the line and they start putting the circuits and all this shit in. And they'll pull maybe a TV that's 1/3 assembled. And they'll test it. All right, gets a stamp of approval. It goes down maybe 2 or 3 more steps. And they blindly pull one of them. And he gets the stamp of approval. So far, the production areas are up to American standards. And then when the TV is fully built, they blindly pull it and they give it a rigorous testing. And it's tested to American engineering standards, even though it's built by Mexicans in Mexico. So I said, okay, I'll buy one. And I did. And I am ultra impressed. Matter of fact, every night when I turn the thing on, I'm like, yay. Is it going to last 10 years? I doubt it. But the way things are made today, if I get 10 years out of that TV and it burns out, I won't be as pissed off as I would with that fucking RCA piece of shit, which I gladly carried out and put in the trash. We're a throwaway society. We don't look for longevity. Matter of fact, I have some friends, every 5 years, they replace their flat screen. Ain't nothing wrong with the one. They give it to Goodwill. I'm like, there was nothing wrong with it. Why are you getting rid of it? Well, they're the type of people that they look at the point like, maybe tomorrow it'll quit. So we're going to get a new one. I said, what if it don't quit tomorrow? Well, we're still replacing it. Same thing, refrigerator. If they hit the 7-year mark, they're panicking. Whoa! They go out and buy a new refrigerator. Nothing wrong with this one, but it's getting old. That's the way they look at it. It's getting old. Heaven forbid it would break down. Well, yeah, nobody wants the refrigerator to break down. But if it's working fine, why replace it? My doctor was telling me there is a certain line of appliances he will never buy because they spent like $3,700 on this big monster refrigerator, freezer, does everything but cook the food for you. They had it 7 months, and the compressor quit. 7 months. $3,700 fridge freezer, 7 months. Under warranty. They got it fixed. As a matter of fact, where they bought it, immediately shipped them a loaner refrigerator until theirs could get fixed. Now, there's an appliance place I would definitely buy from. Because they called and they went, "Rah!" And the appliance place said, "Hey, we'll be out in an hour." Now, luckily, when the fridge went kaput, everything was still cool inside. So they didn't lose any food. But to have a loaner fridge, that's unheard of. So they got a new compressor. Nine months later, the compressor quit again. They called the appliance place. Went, so they were lucky that when the compressor quit the first time, they got an extension on their factory warranty. So this was still under warranty. And he said, "I don't want this thing anymore. I don't care if you're going to fix it for free again. I don't want it." And he bought a different brand. But like he told me, I can't trust that one any more than I can trust the big name appliance that he bought. Because it's a big name. He says, "I can't trust it." And the one that he bought, a different brand. He goes, "I don't trust that one either." The one they fixed is in his garage. They use it for pop and beer. And he said, "The reason I keep it, in case the new one breaks down, I got somewhere to put my food until they either fix it or replace it." But that's the way shit is today. You don't know how long it's going to last. It's not like back in the 40s, 50s, 60s. Appliances were built with pride. And they went through rigorous quality control. Not today. Most of the shit's made by fucking robots. Yeah. And the reason they use robots is you don't have to pay a robot a weekly wage. You don't have to pay a robot health care. You don't have to worry about a robot going on vacation. Of course, if it breaks down, you're screwed. And robots are replacing more and more and more human jobs. Like where my sister works. She said before Christmas break, she noticed many robots waiting to be installed in certain areas of the production floor. She said, "I can guarantee when we come back from the holiday break, there probably will be 20 less jobs." That's the way it's slowly becoming. One of these days, factories will be nothing but fucking robots. Like I told my buddy's grandson, you need to look into robot repair because they'll need technicians to fix the robot when it breaks down. He thought it was funny. I said no. And I told him about where my sister works. I said, sooner or later, all manufacturing will be fucking robotic. It won't need humans. Let's eliminate as many goddamn jobs as we can for greed. Sure, the robot probably costs, $1 million. But you don't have to pay it a weekly wage. You don't have to pay it health care. You don't have to worry about vacation pay, sick time. No. So you get your money back a little faster because you're greedy. That's the way corporations are today. Screw the worker. If we can replace the worker with a robot, well, look at how much money we're saving. Boy, I went off on a tangent today, didn't I? It started out with not being able to find a piece of foam rubber. I still haven't found any. Hard foam, not foam rubber. I need that tough stuff that I can cut into. I could have got it from a fabric store. Matter of fact, there's a craft store not that far away. I called them and I said, do you carry hard foam? No. Do you know where I can get some? No. Can't you use soft foam? And then I explained. I said, hey, I've got this hard side case. I want to put something in it and protect it, and I need hard foam. Sorry, we don't carry any. Back in the day, I guarantee they carried it. I know they make it. Where am I going to get it? China? So, I got the case. Can't do shit with it. That's the way things are, people. When you need something, it don't exist anymore. I know back in the day, the fabrics craft shop carried it because at one time I bought some there. Think I can find it today? No. Because there was no real need for it. And if there isn't a demand, places don't carry it. Because the woman I talked to, she went, God, I haven't had people ask for that in eons. I said, yeah, it's typical. When I need something, I can't find it. So, we went all over the place again today. God forbid you need a shoelace or you tear your clothes. I couldn't even find iron-on patches. Remember back in the day, iron-on patches? It's amazing they still make fucking irons. I wonder if I could go into the Bullseye place and find an ironing board. Back growing up, everybody had one. There was one in every house, an ironing board. I wonder if I go into the Bullseye place or into Walmart if they carry an ironing board. I can imagine going in the store going, I need an ironing board. They'll say, well, I think you need to go to the homeless depot. Well, why would I go there? Because you need a board. They carry boards. That would be the answer I would get. Go to the homeless depot because they carry a board that you could iron on. Not an ironing board, a board that you could iron on. Like a cutting board, I guess. Iron on your cutting board. But then, why get an ironing board and an iron if I can't find the iron-on patches? Oh, that was a big thing back growing up. Everybody's clothes had an iron-on patch somewhere. Couldn't find them. Although, I didn't think about the craft store. But you used to be able to get them at the goddamn drugstore. Iron-on patches, they were everywhere. Like shoe polish. Try finding shoe polish. Not that liquid shit. Real Shinola shoe polish. I remember local drugstore. They had every color imaginable of shoe polish. I know that because I have a gray pair of cowboy boots. Gray. And they had gray shoe polish. Shinola. I remember a saying from my grandfather. It was always like, oh, that guy don't know shit from Shinola. I always wonder how the Shinola people felt about that. Not a good advertisement for their shoe polish. But that was the big shoe polish company back in the day. Shinola shoe polish. Can't find it today. Because people don't wear dress shoes. And the people that do wear dress shoes don't shine their own shoes. They go to places where you're getting a shoe shine. Like the airport. Yeah, you can still get your shoes shined at the airport. I know because I've seen it. Called Cleveland Shines. With sun rays and everything. Yeah, Cleveland Shines. It's not an advertisement for the city. It's an advertisement for the guys that are shining shoes. Or if you can find a shoe repair shop, they'll shine your shoes. But even those are like teeth on a dinosaur. We do have one. Not that far away. And it amazes me he stays busy enough to remain in business. But probably because he's the only one for miles Back growing up, every shopping plaza had a shoe repair shop. But people don't buy them expensive shoes anymore. You even look. I've seen executives wearing athletic shoes. Who buys hard leather shoes anymore? I'm not talking work stuff. You know, the old steel toe. Back in the 70s when I had my job at the courthouse, everybody wore dress, although everybody wore suits and ties. Not today. I went to the title bureau. Everybody was in casual t-shirts, blue jeans. Oh my God, that would be unheard of back. But see, being forced to wear a dress or a suit is against people's rights. So they look like bums. Here's a county office, and everybody in the place looked like a bum. Not back in the 70s when no. You wore a suit and a tie, dress shoes, because you were representing the county. People don't give a shit today. They go in and get their auto title. Hey, I don't care what she's wearing. Give me my fucking title. Oh, I'm off on all kinds of tangents. I think it's time to hang it up for the night, Grumpy. Hey. Oh, I hate this damn tablet. It's got a mind of its own. And we'll play our outro. This is when music was music. Had a nice rhythm. You could understand the words. You could understand the people singing the words. No cussing or swearing. Wonderful music. I know this was from WDWL. That's how old this song is. One of these days I'll play a little Dean Martin for you too. I actually have some. Don't laugh. And with that, friends, Grumpy and the Vulture will meet you again tomorrow night. Maybe somewhere around the same time, but definitely the same station. Have a wonderful night, and we'll meet again tomorrow. Maybe. My clicker's in the right place. See ya.